Good morning. You must be looking for this. Winky, your interior decorator. I'm responsible for your kitchen. Is Amy around? Amy! Is there something different about you? Come on.
Mom, I am so sorry. I totally forgot. Please tell me we're not redecorating again.
No. I just told Winky that she could come and take some photos for her portfolio, but I scheduled it weeks ago, before it.
It's fine.
It'll take 20 minutes tops. I mean, it's such a small kitchen.
I can totally reschedule this, really.
Amy, it's fine.
All right, then. I'll just get my stuff. Right back.
So is everything... You all right?
Amy, you have to stop asking me that.
No, I know. I thought I heard...
What?
I thought I heard you talking to yourself last night.
Well, it must have been the television.
It didn't sound like the television. Mrs. O'Donnell, who brought over the potato casserole, she left the number for a grief counselor.
Did you taste her potato casserole?
It's been 2 weeks, Mom, and I just think the way you hold everything in, it's not healthy. You need to talk to someone.
You mean other than myself?
I'm back. Listen, I'm not going to make a big production out of this. One light, a couple of props.
We have our own fruit.
Yes, I saw. Yours looked a little mealy.
Mealy?
She didn't mean that.
Do you mind if I hide your toaster oven? Yours is nearly an antique.
I'm going to go to work.
I think that's a good idea.
I don't know. I'm usually perceptive about this kind of thing. There's something different about you, isn't there?
My fiancé died of a heart attack 2 weeks ago, 48 hours before we were going to be married. Also, I've cut my hair.
Oh, maybe I should.
Amy, I think you're right. I do feel better.
I still say Heather got a raw deal. How's she doing? She bouncing back?
I haven't talked to her in a week or so. I've left her a couple of messages, though.
Really? But you two are still...
I'm not having this conversation.
I was just thinking, if you're not, maybe I should call her.
Dr. McCarty? Dr. Egan. Just the person I was looking for. I mean, not right this moment, but I was about to be looking for.
I need the x-rays.
On the girl in the car accident, right here. Severe malar fractures on the left and right cheek, as well as nasal fracturing in 6 different places and a detached left nostril.
What about the orbital blowout?
She's clean.
Good. Put her on my schedule for tomorrow and have her prepped in the morning.
Okay, dude, how'd you land that?
Dr. Redeker asked me to assist.
Yeah, well, first years never get teamed with visiting doctors. You know what this means, don't you? She digs you.
Right. Because it could mean that she read my med school transcript and saw that I had a year of plastic surgery training. This is wrong. There should be a photo in here.
Photo of your patient?
Well, how are we supposed to put the girl's face back together if we don't know what it looked like in the first place?
Good point.
And a pretty hard point to miss if you know anything about plastic surgery.
So what do you think? Should I call Heather?
Did you ask the caller what kind of danger the child is in?
I told you. All she said was that there's a kid living in some warehouse off Dexter Ave, and she thinks he's in trouble or something.
Or something? Are those her words or yours?
Maxine, I know you've been through a rough time, and I'm sorry about Jared.
Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate it.
But you've been gone for 2 weeks, and the rest of us have been picking up the slack, and you don't get to come back and challenge me like that in front of everyone.
What was that?
That was Kimberly trying to be sympathetic.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long 2 weeks. How you doing?
Well, other than everyone asks me how I'm doing,
I think I know the answer to this question, but I have to ask.
Sean, I need to be back at work. Please do not suggest that I take any more time off.
Okay. Just try and take it easy today, all right? And if you change your mind and you think you want to...
Sean,
Have I told you how much I like the hair?
well, I'm trying to get used to it.
It's a petition to modify custody. Mr. Moran is seeking sole legal custody of his 14-year-old daughter, Megan.
Have we attempted mediation?
They have, Your Honor, and it was not a success.
Failed miserably.
My client's case is straightforward. He wants the right to remove his daughter from Rockwater Academy, a boarding school that is causing Megan irreparable harm.
Oh, that's a load of... Mrs. Moran, don't finish that sentence. Thank you. Mr. Moran, you're alleging that Megan is being abused in some way at the school?
School? That place isn't a school. It's a fat farm with blackboards.
Oh, my God. Here we go. His parents sent him to a fat camp one summer when he was 10, and we all have to pay for it for the rest of our lives.
Okay, but the issue here is that Mrs. Moran sent Megan to a school that Mr. Moran does not approve of. Is that correct?
Yes.
No.
Counsel, what are the terms regarding schools according to the existing custody agreement?
No terms were stipulated, Your Honor. They left it open with the understanding they'd work it out between themselves.
And yet, here we are.
We had an oral agreement that my daughter would not be sent to any school that the other disapproved of, let alone some psycho fat farm cult.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
Yeah, we're all going to rest our case. I'm going to hear testimony in this matter. When, Mr. Van Exel?
Later today at noon.
Later today at noon, and let's all be in better moods by then.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Diaz. Almost done.
Dr. Kelly, report to the doctor's room.
So how you feeling?
Okay, I guess. Probably better than I look, right?
That's temporary. Remember that. We're gonna operate tomorrow. I'm gonna need a photo of Anna.
A photo like a snapshot?
As big as you can find.
We took a pretty good prom photo. I have an A10 at home. I can have my brother bring it by.
Perfect.
I can look like that again. You promise?
I do.
Yeah, sí. El doctor es buena gente. No te preocupes.
I'm telling you, Connor is fine. Now, would you please get the hell out of here?
I'm not going anywhere until I've seen him, but I do appreciate your saying please.
You know, just because you flash some fascist government badge in my face doesn't mean I have to let you in.
Actually, it does. If you don't let me in, the next fascist badge you will see will belong to a police officer. And now, let me in, please.
There he is. You satisfied?
No, I am not. Is this your apartment?
I don't believe in private property, so that question really doesn't mean anything to me. You've seen Connor. He's fine. Now you can leave. Don't go over there. It took me forever to get him to sleep.
How did you get him to sleep?
He just went.
You gave him a beer?
No.
I have a very good sense of smell, and I clearly smell beer.
I just gave him a little, maybe 3 drops to help him sleep.
What is your name?
I don't have to tell you anything. What are you doing?
I'm taking Connor out of your custody.
Put him down!
Here's my card. If you want to talk to me about what you have to do in order to get your son back.
He's not my... Put him down. He's not my son. I just babysit him while his mom works.
And where is that? Where does his mother work?
Why should I tell you?
Because I can have you arrested. Because you are facing child endangerment charges. Because it is in your best interest to cooperate with me right now.
Okay. Her name is Brittany, and I have her cell number in the bedroom.
That would be a start. You all right? Yeah. I'm the one who's losing my mind. You'll be all right. You see you.
Megan was a good student at her old school. She had interests. She was a top-notch violinist with the orchestra. And the number of books she read, unassigned books, was staggering.
That's because she had no friends. She hid in a corner with her books.
Mrs. Moran, it's your husband's turn to speak.
The academic program at Rockwater Academy is bottom rung. Ask the administrators, they'll admit that. And there's no music program at all.
Technically, that's not correct, Your Honor. The school does have a music program.
A box of harmonicas and a reel-to-reel tape recorder is not a music program.
Do you see? He's got some wacko pipe dream that Megan's gonna be on stage at Carnegie Hall or something. Meanwhile, he refuses to see what her life is really like, what her weight is doing to her future.
Your Honor, my client supports his daughter 100% in her weight loss efforts. His problem is with this boarding school as a solution.
Mrs. Moran, I'm interested to know why you felt it was necessary to take such a radical step.
Look, Your Honor, I've put Megan on a ton of different at-home diets, but trying to get her to stick to them, every dinner ended up in a huge fight. So finally, I gave up. Which is why I was surprised when she came up with the idea of going to Rockwater Academy.
It was Megan's idea to go to this school?
Your Honor, just because it was Megan's idea doesn't make it a good one.
Mr. Stein, I'm not going to tell you how to handle your case, but I would be interested in hearing from a representative from Megan's school.
Your Honor, the principal and at least a half a dozen administrators from Rockwater Academy are willing to testify.
I think one will be fine.
Does anyone know the password for the new database program? Does anyone know why we have a new database program?
Sorry, while you were gone, Kimberly.
Kimberly what? Decided the old system worked too well and it needed to be more complicated?
What'd the doctor say?
Connor's in good health, a little dehydrated, emotionally distraught. He keeps asking where his mother is, which is something I would like to know as well.
He's sleeping in office, my bet. Okay, you're in. The new password's spurious. Which we can change. So it's Connor with two N's, right?
He's between 2 and 3, Caucasian. Mother's name is supposedly Brittany.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Connor Johnston. Caucasian, born March 3rd, 2000. And the birth mother is Brittany Marie Johnston.
Brittany, are you sure?
That's what it says right here. Why?
I placed a Brittany Johnston in foster care maybe 10 years ago. Can't be the same girl.
It's possible.
So what do you think? Pretty good shot of her if you don't mind the cheesy clouds in the background. Do you want me to try to enlarge it, or do you think this one is all right?
I never asked for a photo, Dr. McCarty.
What? You can't do a rhinoplasty without a visual aid.
I never said anything about doing a rhinoplasty. I'm doing a malar, nasal fracture reduction. That's it.
Wait, Dr. Egan, that can't be it. This girl's nose and cheekbones are completely shattered. She needs full-fledged reconstruction.
And if she were coming into my private practice, that's what I'd be doing. But I have back-to-back appointments in my West Hartford office, not to mention 5 surgeries scheduled here. I don't have time for a 4-hour operation.
You don't have time? Is that how you're going to explain that for the rest of her life her face will look like the back of the bus that hit her because you don't have time?
I don't have to explain anything to her, or to a first-year resident.
Wow, so I think I get it. We say we're a county hospital, we treat the poor and uninsured, but what we really mean is that it's kind of a hobby, and we'll do it as long as it doesn't get in the way of our real job.
My real job is what allows me to treat the poor and the uninsured. The 4 hours I spend on that girl in there are 4 hours I take from somebody else. You want to save the world? Good for you. Why don't you start by finding me another resident to assist? Because we're done working together.
That could have gone better.
could call that number. Excuse me. I'm Maxine Gray with the Department of Children and Families. I'm looking for Brittany Johnston. Go ahead, look. Well, I was hoping that you might help me. I understand that she lives in this neighborhood. I'm going to give you my card, and if you happen to run into Miss Johnson, I would appreciate you calling me at that number.
Hold on. $20 and I might be able to hook you up.
I work for a city agency. We don't pay for information.
Well, I work for myself. Only thing I do for free is my girlfriend. Yo, Britt!
The end is near.
You remember me? It's good to see you, although I very much wish I weren't seeing you here.
What do you want? You got nothing to do with me. Some other lady's been on my case for years.
I'm here representing your son, Connor.
What do you know about Connor?
DCF took temporary custody of Connor this morning.
What?
I found him in a condemned apartment, along with his babysitter, a young woman with clear sobriety issues. He was sleeping off the beer she gave him.
You're a liar. Summer wouldn't do that.
Brittany.
Look, Summer's my friend. She wouldn't do that. I don't believe you.
Brittany, come back here. Come back here.
Each student has what we call a lifestyle advisor, like a guidance counselor. Megan is one of my advisees. We meet several times a week.
In what areas do you advise Megan?
I'm a licensed nutritionist, and I've also been trained in behavior modification. We discuss eating habits, diet, physical education.
Is there a separate advisor for academics?
No, I help out with that stuff too.
That stuff? You mean the stuff that the children are supposed to be learning? Tell me a little bit more about the school itself.
It's a state-of-the-art facility. In the design phase, we had input from physicians and Olympic trainers. For example, all classrooms are a mile hike from the dorm rooms, and all dorm rooms are on the 3rd and 4th floors. Elevators are only used to move furniture and boxes. Students are required to take the stairs.
What I'm curious about is this. In between all the physical training, the hiking, meeting with nutritionists, when does Megan have time to study?
Look, I don't know what you've heard, but our academic program is not only accredited, it meets and in some cases surpasses state requirements.
$12,000 a year. They don't even teach a foreign language.
Every school has its priorities.
And what is the average weight loss per student per year?
Around 40 pounds.
Megan has only lost 9 pounds in 2 years.
Your Honor, different children lose at different rates. Megan has a slow metabolism.
Do you agree?
Honestly, one of my jobs is to search the kids' rooms for hidden junk food. I almost always turn up a stash in Megan's room.
No one's reported this to me.
I've reported it to the administration several times.
Then why haven't I been notified?
Dear Mrs. Moran, as it turns out, we can't do anything to help your daughter after all. Here's a big refund check. You haven't gotten that call. I'm shocked.
Okay. Well, thank you for your help, Mrs. Margolis. And I think next I'd like to hear from Megan.
May I come in?
Just get away from me.
From what I saw, I had no choice but to remove Connor.
Oh, God, is that like in your manual or something? Because it's exactly what you said to me before you ruined my life.
I ruined your life.
You took me away from my family.
Your mother was an addict. She couldn't care for you. Brittany, she couldn't. It was my impression that the situation we found for you was a good one.
It was good for somebody.
But the last I heard, they were moving to adopt you.
Yeah. So they could get social services out of their hair and be free to smack me around and look the other way when my foster brother raped me.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah. So really, you know, great job.
Brittany, I'm sorry. I had no idea.
You
didn't tell me? You didn't tell anyone at DCF?
Tell you? I'm gonna tell you? You're the one who stuck stuck me in that foster home. And now you're doing the same thing to Connor. Oh, what's gonna happen to him? He should be with me.
Brittany, I can help you. DCF has taken temporary custody of Connor. If you do the right things, the judge will give him back to you.
I don't believe you. Anyway, my life is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do not. You are 18 years old. It's all ahead of you. And what about Connor's life? Brittany, I can't undo what's happened to you. I wish I could. What I can do is promise to help you now. Connor's case will be reviewed tomorrow, and attendance does count, as does demonstrating you are serious about getting help.
So what do I have to do? Go into one of those programs?
That would be a start, yes.
Hey, Mom.
Mom, you okay?
Good morning, Amy.
Is everything... You all right?
Well, so far, so good. Of course, the day is still young.
So I thought I heard...
What?
Crying.
Really? Did you check on Lauren?
Lauren's at her father's.
Well, that's odd. I don't know what you heard. It was probably the plumbing or something. I should have been out of here 15 minutes ago.
But I made breakfast.
Oh, no time. Have a good day, dear.
But I made... Belgian waffles.
The parenting seminars you'll be doing meet up here. We also have awesome group counseling and high school equivalency classes.
You should take him up on those. Brittany has a real aptitude for math.
What?
Well, you did.
Yeah, in the 2nd grade.
And these are new. It has all our rules, regulations, things like that. You'll want to give it a quick read through. I'm real glad to see you back. I'm gonna start your paperwork. It'll just take a few minutes.
You didn't tell me you'd been here before.
Well, it was only for a few days. Me and Connor needed a place to stay.
Why'd you leave?
Started working again. Moved in with a guy. How long you think it is till I can get Connor back?
If you commit to this, show a judge that you intend to turn your life around, I'll go to bat for you this afternoon.
You ever hear from my mom? You know, my real mom.
I was in touch with her for a while. I tried to help her.
She couldn't do it.
She never made it this far, Brittany.
So you're not here in some sort of official capacity, are you? You know, check my blood alcohol content, something like that?
That's a much longer discussion for another day.
Ooh, I can't wait.
No, it's just... Well, I've been trying to talk to Peter about this, but he won't listen. Or he doesn't want to. I need to know about depression. What are the symptoms?
I don't know. Let's see. Change in appetite, insomnia, lethargy.
See? Mom, she has all those. Well, maybe not the lethargy part. She had enough energy to scare off the interior decorator, but all the rest.
It still might not mean anything.
It means she's not eating or sleeping. You know what she has for dinner every night? Nothing. A bowl of popcorn. That's it.
Amy, her fiance died 2 weeks ago.
I know that. Why do you think I'm so worried?
She's not depressed. She's grieving.
But she's not. You see? It's so important to Mom that all of us go on exactly as if everything's normal.
Okay, so that's what she needs right now.
But things aren't. And I know her. Like, you weren't around when Dad died. It's the same thing. She tries so hard to hold it all in, keep everything together, until she can't anymore. Sooner or later, she's gonna fall apart.
Have you talked to her about it?
I tried. She won't talk to anyone.
How do you know?
Well, I don't know. Is she talking to you about Jared?
Not much.
See? She's shutting everyone out.
Not everyone. She's been talking to Charles.
Charles? Charles Duff?
Yeah. Peter said that they had lunch a couple of times this week.
I shouldn't have snuck in the junk food, okay? That was wrong. But enough to get kicked out over?
No, no one's talking about kicking you out. But if the goal of the school is for you to lose weight...
There's more to the school than that. Didn't Miss Margolis tell you?
So you like the school?
I like it so much.
And what about it do you like specifically?
Just... like... everything. Everyone's nice and we all get along well and... it's very comfortable.
What about the academics?
I make good grades.
Do you find the school challenging?
I'm always a good student.
So basically you like it because everybody's nice.
Please. Don't make me go back to my old school. I never get harassed at this place. I'm not like the fat kid with no friends. I mean, everyone there. Everyone looks like me.
So no one's the fat kid?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Here you go, Mr. Diaz.
I don't understand. You don't need the photo?
To do the rhinoplasty, we would, but we've decided to do something a little different.
Like what?
It's called a fracture reduction.
This fracturing thing is not as good as... is it?
No, it's not as good, but it will help her. Her fractures will be fused, and she'll be able to breathe normally again.
Doctor, my wife, she keeps asking about her face. Will you be able to?
She'll still need to see a plastic surgeon.
You mean like pay for one?
Well, some of it should be covered by your insurance. You guys don't have insurance, do you?
Maybe I can talk to the doctor or something. You think that might help?
Kyle, when you have a minute?
Let me see what I can do. What's going on?
Do you remember a patient named Rufus White?
Homeless guy, gangrene, lost a toe.
He's about to lose 2 more. I need your help in the ER.
No problem, but I may need your help as well.
There's no quid pro quo here, Kyle.
It's that car wreck victim. Remember, you asked me to assist Dr. Egan, and believe me, I appreciate the opportunity. This girl needs a rhinoplasty. Egan's too busy to do it.
Oh, give me a break. He wants me to cover for him again?
Yeah. He asked me to ask you. He's stuck at Memorial all day and doesn't think he can make it.
You can't keep dumping patients on me like this every time he has to run back to his private practice.
I can get the whole thing set up. Get her moved to the OR. We can do it at night when it's slower.
It's never slower, Kyle. Fine, I'll do it. But you better really need someone.
Get the splint ready. And the nasal membrane.
Hold on a second, I almost got it. There it is. That's the way it should look. See? Nasal dorsum right there. Admitted it looks good.
It does.
And you love the way I say nasal dorsum.
Oh, you can see right through me.
Nasal dorsum, nasal dorsum, nasal dorsum.
Say it again.
Guys, why don't you two jump each other and just get it over with?
What did you say?
I'm sorry. That was out of line. It's been a long day.
Let's finish this up.
Your mommy's on her way.
Judge wants to start.
Well, he can't start without me, and I'm still out here.
She's not coming. Who'd you line up for a foster family?
I didn't.
What?
I thought she would be here.
Maxine, the girl has a drug problem and a history of not showing up for court dates.
And why do you suppose that is?
Listen, I know you feel responsible for Brittany.
I am responsible for Brittany.
Okay, well, the judge is getting impatient, and Connor needs a place to sleep tonight, so you need to get in there, and I'll find a placement.
Try the Dixons. They have the space, and they're willing to take someone on short notice.
Dr. Egan, I thought you were...
Not here? Well, obviously I am. And imagine my confusion when I walked into the ICU and saw the Diaz girl there recuperating from her rhinoplasty. And the really confusing part? To the best of my recollection, I don't remember doing the operation. And when I checked for my schedule today, guess what? She wasn't on it.
I transferred Anna Diaz off your patient chart.
Kyle, there you are. What's going on?
Your resident has just admitted that he has transferred a patient out of my care completely without my knowledge.
What does he mean? What patient?
The Diaz girl.
Anna Diaz?
Apparently he didn't like my treatment plan. So he removed her from my schedule. The level of insubordination here borders on the criminal, and I intend to talk to the board about this.
He had my authorization.
Yours?
I approved the patient transfer. I should have told you.
I don't believe that.
Well, that's not my problem, is it?
You're making a mistake.
Don't even try to talk to me.
Megan, I don't doubt that you were very happy at Rockwater Academy. No one picks on you, and you feel safe. But you're not going to be able to stay there forever. Eventually, you'll graduate, and you'll have to go back to the same real world with the same prejudices. Now, your advisor has stated that this school is supposed to be temporary, and it's pretty clear to me that you could probably get a better education somewhere else. And if you think the overweight are treated badly in this society, wait till you see what happens to the uneducated. But I'm not going to amend the custody agreement because I find no abuse or neglect, just a very strong difference of opinion. However, I am going to stipulate that Megan can remain at Rockwater only if she abides by the school program and if she shows progress comparable to that of the other students. Otherwise, the school could become a velvet coffin, which rewards Megan for remaining overweight.
I don't understand. What does that mean?
It means she can't stay there if she stays fat.
Well, that's out and out bigotry.
Wait, you send her to a fat farm. The judge is saying she shouldn't stay at the fat farm because it makes her stay fat, and now you're arguing that the ruling isn't fair to fat people. Does anyone else have whiplash from trying to keep this straight?
Mr. Moran, I'm actually not finished. I am also strongly recommending at least one session per week for family therapy for the three of you. And then we will meet back here in 3 months and see how it's going.
So I'm confused. Who won? I think you all won, Mrs. Moran. You just don't know it yet.
You're not speaking to me, are you?
Too angry to speak with you.
Well, will you listen? Because there actually is an explanation.
Oh, I know the explanation. You didn't agree with Egan, so you decided to go ahead and do what you thought was best without giving a thought to the consequences.
You saw that girl's face. He was gonna do the bare minimum, and that's what she was gonna have to live with. People don't treat their pets that way.
Why didn't you come to me?
Well, I did. That's why.
No! Why didn't you come to me before you made your stupid executive decision? You manipulated me, Kyle.
I didn't want you to say no.
I wouldn't have. Why don't you know that? You're a very good doctor, Kyle. And I'm glad you're here. But there's something about you.
Something irresistible?
Every time I think I'm getting closer to you, you do something stupid or foolish. And I catch just a glimpse of what you must have been like before you got kicked out of med school.
I was an addict back then. I was using.
Back then. What's your excuse now? Please don't screw this up, Kyle. Any of it.
Just got off the phone to Dixon's. Connor's settling in.
I am sorry about that. I should have covered my bases. I made a bad call.
It all worked out. Ted Brittany's file.
You should have seen this child at 8 years old. She had the sweetest smile. She fell through the cracks, is what happened. 10 years ago, you weren't here yet. But I went through, something. Depression, I suppose. The doctor said it was a delayed reaction to my husband's death. And he encouraged me. Actually, he insisted that I take some time off, which I had never done. I remember placing Brittany about a week before my sabbatical. By the time I got back, she was somebody else's case. I had 50 new cases to worry about. But she was my responsibility first.
You're keeping that boy safe. That's the best thing you can do for Brittany. You are allowed to have a life, Maxine, so I'm going to say this only one more time. If you decide you want to take more time off, which you won't because you're fine, but if you do, just know you have my blessing.
Thank you.
Now go home.
I'm just packing up.
Maxine, line 2.
Who is it?
She didn't say, but I think she's crying.
This is Maxine Gray. Hello. Brittany, is that you? I can help you, Brittany, when you're ready. But you need to talk to me. All right, you have this number. I'll be here for a while tonight, and I'll be here tomorrow. This is where I'll be. So...
You have any idea what time it is, young lady?
Call me young lady again. And pour me a glass of that, would you?
Where were you?
I was at work. Where do you think I was?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you were at dinner. Sean or Peter?
Charles? Amy, you're upset.
No, I feel like a fool, that's all.
Why?
Because I've been saying, Mom, I'm worried about you. You have to talk to someone. And all along, you were talking to someone. You were talking to Charles, right? And that's good. It is. I just didn't know that you and Charles were so close. That's all.
I didn't tell you. I had this crazy notion that you would feel left out or jealous or something.
Well, that is ridiculous.
Well, of course it is.
You have to deal with this however you deal with this, and it's got nothing to do with me.
Amy, come here.
I understand. I do. No, you lost Jared, and Charles lost his father, and... Oh... I don't know. I was afraid.
Of what?
Of losing you.
Amy, I depend on you for so many things you have no idea.
Your fiancé dies and I make it all about me?
Well, yeah, that's one of the things I depend on you for.
Sprout. How's it being back at work? How's it going?
I've had a lousy couple of days.
Tell me.
Oh. There's a girl, chronic runaway. I should be used to it by now, but they're tough.
I had one in my court last month.
Brittany Johnston. I first met her 10 years ago.
I don't know. What will I do all day?
We do. You'll see a woman in charge of a courtroom making big decisions. You'll be in awe much of the day.
Yeah, but what if I'm not? What if I'm just bored? You said I can't even sit in court during the trial.
You can listen at the door.
Grandma, did you ever make Mom go to work with you when she was little?
No, I had quite enough of her at home.
Ma, little sisterhood here. Let's take your daughter to work day.
Whose idea was that?
The entire nation's?
In my day, we had get an education so you can get work day.
You're not helping. And I don't see you offering to take Lauren to work.
I can do that? I can go with Grandma?
I'm not so sure that's such a good idea.
Think of the awe.
I have a really long day.
Please.
All right. Pick you up at 2:30.
Okay, I'll go get my stuff. Be right back. Don't leave without me. It's not fair.
I know. Take your medicine.
I was supposed to go with Mom for Take Your Daughter to Work Day.
And instead, you're stuck with me. It's a horrible injustice. Come on, take your medicine. We gotta get moving.
But she promised.
Your mom's going to pick you up at the courthouse after lunch. So, you get to spend half the day with me and half the day with her. Works out for everyone.
Dad, I'm going to be a model when I grow up. Not a court services. What are you again?
You know what I am.
Yeah. You're the guy that sits in court and says, tomorrow at 2:30.
I do a lot more than that.
Mom gets to wear the nicest clothes in the world, and she has 6 people just to help her get dressed.
Yeah, well, I know how to dress myself. It's a good skill to have. Take the medicine. We're running late.
Mom said maybe I could try skipping 1 pill during the day.
She said what?
When I get older. That's what she said.
Your mother's a model, Rebecca, not a doctor.
She said one of her friends knows someone with epilepsy.
Sweetie, we're done negotiating here. Take the medicine. We leave in 5 minutes. Let's go. I saw that.
Gonna walk you to class, carry your books.
If I'm your mom, I'll let you hold my hand.
You're so easy. Wanna have lunch with me and my mother?
Wow, that was weird. I could have sworn you just invited me to...
It's her birthday. She just flew in this morning. Took me completely by surprise.
She surprised you on her birthday.
Yeah. The thing is, I kind of have a cookie relationship with my mom.
How cookie?
For years, we didn't talk. We barely talked. A few minutes on the phone every couple of weeks. Who are you dating? When you know, just the bare minimum about my life. No details. I didn't want to let her in because...
Yeah, well, once you let her in, she's in. I've had that cat before.
But lately, I kind of had this change of heart. I don't know. Either I suddenly got a lot more mature, more likely I'm just a lot happier with who I'm dating.
I think it's that you got a lot more mature.
Either way, you're pretty much the first girlfriend I've told her about since college.
Really?
Uh-huh. So she wants to meet you, and I said she could, and it's her birthday.
I'm your mother's birthday present?
Yeah, I know, it's...
It's a little kooky.
If you don't want to go, I'll totally understand, but please go. I'll do anything.
You're cute when you're desperate.
Look at this. 4 drug offenses, 5 abuse and neglect, half dozen OTCs. I'm looking at a full house here. Vine's gonna have my ass.
I'm a compassionate man. I'll take 2 of the OTCs and 1 drug offense.
Make it 3 drug offenses and I'll take that probation hearing off your hands.
Oh, you're a real saint, Pete. That's a rubber stamp, a 5-minute case.
Can't do it. You can have any of the others, but not that one. It's Samuel Stackhouse. I intend to see that kid discharged from probation with my own eyes.
Who's Samuel Stackhouse?
A boy your daddy saved from a short and unsuccessful life of crime.
How'd you do that?
He saved himself. I just got the wheels in motion.
Please don't believe him. Your dad has modesty issues. He went out on a limb for that kid.
Oh, here she is. Future Mrs. Pete Elwell.
Hey, it's Nola.
It's Zola.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, I'm Pete. Pete Elwell.
Do I know you?
Not yet.
Sit down, Pete.
Right.
He's harmless. How are you?
Off to court, but I wanted to make sure we're still on for lunch.
I can't. I have Rebecca. She's supposed to be with Mia, but
I understand. You have a complicated life.
complicated, but interesting and worth the trouble.
So far.
He's free for dinner. You are. I'll be with Mom.
My social secretary. I'll call you.
Okay.
What? It looked like you needed a little help there.
All right, watch your back. Coming through.
Excuse us.
Okay, move him into 3, get him prepped. See if you can dig up a pint of O negative.
We need you in 6, severe abdominal pains and fever.
6 is full. I just came from 6, compound fracture.
What can I say? Compound fracture's getting a roommate.
Okay, if I were a paranoid man, I would say that nurse hated me.
Nurse Nancy, she does hate you.
Why?
Take a look in our waiting room. It's like Times Square on New Year's Eve.
It's not my fault. We're understaffed.
Well, that part's kind of your fault.
Okay, we have been through this before. You were the one that fired Heather. All I did was throw a party. You've got to get another doctor in here, maybe 2.
It's not going to happen. They gave me a hiring freeze.
Well, that's insane. Maybe if they got their asses down here and they took a... And who is they?
They are the business people who told me that hiring a new doctor would be, how did they put it, financially contraindicated.
Okay, don't hire anybody new. Rehire Heather.
You miss your little buddy, don't you? Sorry, that came out snottier than I intended it.
This is not personal. We're drowning out there. Heather hasn't been gone that long. Can't you go to the board and tell them that she's seeking treatment?
Kyle, she tested positive for drugs. It's hospital policy.
I know that, but I also know that on occasion you've been known to rewrite hospital policy. Like, I wouldn't be here if that weren't true.
Well, I only get a few chances, and I took one on you.
Take another chance. She's a good doctor.
Fine, I'll see what I can do, but I'm not making any promises.
Fair enough.
Chainsaw accident in the waiting room. I'm gonna put him in a 4, and his wife told me to give you these.
Are those fingers?
She thinks she found them all.
Don't get too comfortable, Rebecca.
Tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Thursday at 2:30.
Okay, very funny.
Friday
Let's
at dusk.
go. Rebecca, vacate the chair.
Just practicing.
You remember Judge Gray?
Hey, Rebecca. You know your dad really runs this place.
Yeah, I heard he saves kids from jail and everything.
No, actually, that part is my job.
Rebecca's gonna wait in your chambers if that's all right. Go with Donna.
Just when I was starting to have fun.
Well, have you considered a career in the legal arena?
No.
She's supposed to be with me.
I'm lucky. Short of bribery, I couldn't convince Lauren to come within a mile of this place. Okay, first up, discharge of probation hearing. For the record, you are...
I'm Doug, Douglas Rain, representing Samuel Stockhouse.
And do you notice anyone is missing? Douglas Rain?
Yes, Judge, actually I have. That would be Mr. Stockhouse.
Stackhouse.
Would you have any idea where Samuel is?
Your guess is as good as mine. I called, I can't tell you how many times. I talked to his sister and his mother. He should be here.
He's got a pager. I mean, there's a pager number for Samuel Stackhouse.
Have you tried paging Samuel?
I tried,
So
but...
you haven't actually talked to Samuel himself?
No.
Okay. Well, if Mr. Stackhouse doesn't care enough about being discharged from probation enough to actually show up, maybe probation should not be terminated. I see no reason not to issue a warrant.
Excuse me, Your Honor. If Mr. Rain would like to ask for a continuance, just in case there was an accident or something.
Mr. Van Exel, a continuance.
Yes, I want to do that.
You have space this afternoon.
No, I don't. I have to get out of here by 2:30. I promised Lauren.
There's an opening at 2.
Really? I didn't last time I checked.
You do now.
Okay. Continuance until 2 o'clock, but this is your client's last chance.
Thank you, Judge.
Next case.
I'll be back.
Where are you going?
Court business. Donna, cover.
No need to worry, Judge Gray. I got your back.
Stackhouse, yes. Judge Gray CSO is asking that too. Yeah, I'll hold. Honey, don't do that.
Why can't I hear the court cases?
There's nothing I can do about it, sweetheart. It's the law. Juvenile's a closed court. Yeah? Yeah, I just heard he's in detention. I need to know why. Well, if he's the wrong guy, he should have been released by now. What? No, I'll be right down.
Detention? Uh-oh. Somebody's staying after school.
I got a message the judge wanted to see me.
No, I don't want to see you. Do you know your client's downstairs sitting in detention right now?
What for?
Come on, you're his public defender. That's the kind of thing you should know.
Look, standard procedure in our office is give everything to the new guy, and you're looking at the new guy. Be glad I can find the right courtrooms. I'll try and get down there sometime.
No, I'll go get him. You just make sure you're in court at 2 o'clock sharp.
Look, I'm not sure I can. I've got a lot of clients.
No, you don't.
I don't?
I'm going to be very clear with you. Right now, today, you have one client, Samuel Stackhouse. You're not going to blow this kid's last chance. You got that?
Yeah.
2 o'clock.
That was so cool, Dad. You went totally Denzel. Are we really going to see that detention kid?
I am. You've got to stay here. But when I get back, we'll have lunch.
Oh, come on.
Rebecca, take your medicine. Don't forget.
Stop trying to change the subject. You said you'd give me a tour of the courthouse.
I know I did, honey, but I don't think there's going to be time. I got to go take care of this kid.
I don't care about Samuel Suckhouse. This is my only day here, and you promised.
Sweetie, this has to be taken care of by 2 o'clock. I'll be back as soon as I can. I'll have Donna look in on you.
There you go, guys. Come back after work. Pints are half price during happy hour. What can I get Kyle?
Alone, Mallory? That's so sad. What happened to all the other ducks?
It's a mystery. What are you doing here in the middle of the day?
I wanted to see you, and I have a message from Lily. She would like to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm sure. About what? Getting pedicures together?
about coming back to St. Mike's?
No. Tell her no thanks.
Come on, listen. She has all but admitted that it was a huge mistake in letting you go.
Kyle, that talk screen was the best thing that's ever happened to me. It was a wake-up call.
Believe me, I have received that call once or twice myself. I understand.
I don't think you do. What I'm saying is, I don't want to be a doctor. That was my wake-up call.
A Gibson in a draft?
Got it.
You're right. I don't understand.
When I left the hospital, I thought my life had completely collapsed. I cried for 2 days, didn't leave the house for a week. Then you know what happened? Nothing. I was fine. Actually happy. For the first time in I don't know how long, there was no pressure. I wasn't waking up in the middle of the night convinced that I'd given some patient the wrong medication and killed him.
I had that dream last night.
I used to have that dream every night. But now, I haven't slept this well in 3 years. I'm not responsible for anyone else's life, just mine. Look, I'm not you, and I'm not Lily. I'm okay with that. You do your thing, I'll do mine.
Tending bar, that's your thing?
I like this job. The clientele's cool. Suspender crowd at lunch, rich kids at night. Everyone's funny.
Funnier than me?
And I make more on one shift here than I did in 2 weeks as a resident. I'm okay. Believe me.
I do. But I miss you.
I didn't leave town. I just left the hospital. You know where to find me. I'm right here.
You and the duck.
Pick up.
Okay, he hasn't been charged with anything. The arresting officer admitted he got the wrong guy, so. So why is he still in the cell?
That's a conundrum, isn't it? Bureaucracy. Officer on duty can't find his paperwork.
You're the officer on duty.
That I am.
What happened?
Kid's got an attitude problem. Hasn't figured out how to respect his elders.
Come on, Officer Curtis. This kid's been through a lot. He's about to clear probation. I'm sure you
I get off duty at 5. I'd imagine his paperwork will surface around then.
No. 5 o'clock is too late. He has to be in court at 2. Okay, let's get to the point. What would expedite matters? An apology?
Maybe. Kid shows some remorse, says he's sorry, then who knows?
Let me see him.
What? You want to have lunch?
I can't. I've got a lunch.
Really? But it isn't on your schedule. Who are you having lunch with? Yeah, in case I need to find you.
Stu's mother.
What?
Stu's mother. I'm having lunch with Stu's mother. You getting this in the back row? I'm having lunch with Stu's mother.
Next case.
He gets the call. You know that I'm the wrong guy. And then he comes into my cell and he's like, just because you didn't rob the video store doesn't mean you don't belong in here. And then he gives me a little push.
What'd you say?
He pushed me.
What did you say?
I told him to bite my ass.
That's just beautiful. Why would you do something so stupid?
He started it. I didn't do anything. I'm not even supposed to be here.
Come on, Samuel. You know how close you are to putting all this behind you?
What, I'm not supposed to stand up for myself because I'm on probation? I was right. That guy disrespected me.
So what? You want to talk about disrespect? What do you think you're showing me? I've been in your corner for over a year now. Who do you think's been filing reports with the court? Letting the judge know how well you're doing? Getting your date moved up? Now you want to throw it all away because he started it?
Well, when was the last time some cop told you that you belonged in jail no matter you didn't do anything? He should apologize to me.
Samuel, There's a judge waiting to discharge you from probation. But if you're not there at 2 o'clock, she's going to issue a warrant. And then about 2:15, your friend out there is going to walk in here with a big grin on his face. You know why? Because he'll be carrying that warrant. And he'll be the one arresting you. Don't you see? If you don't apologize, then you make him right about you.
Then I guess everyone's right about it.
Everyone except me. You know, I'm supposed to be having lunch with my daughter right now, but I'm here. You know what that means? That means I overestimated you. Thank you for watching, Rebecca. Sorry I'm late. Where is she?
Oh, she's having lunch with Stu's mother.
What?
I know. I thought it was a little premature for that, too.
Rebecca, Donna. Where's Rebecca?
She isn't with you?
Rebecca! Rebecca!
Look, she probably just got hungry or something.
You want to take that down? Rebecca! Rebecca! Donna, check the women's room upstairs. I'm gonna check the cafeteria. Rebecca! Rebecca!
I saw Rebecca. She blew out of here a while ago.
You just let her go?
Well, she waved and said, see ya. Figured she knew what she was doing.
She's a little girl.
Bruce, our job's not to lock people in. It's to keep them out.
Yeah, okay. Did you at least see which direction she went in?
I think she headed east. No, man, she got on the bus.
The bus?
Yeah, I think she got on the bus that stops right over there. No, I'm telling you, she was walking on foot east.
Troy, look, I need to see your security tapes. Can you do that for me? Mia! Is Rebecca with you?
What are you talking about? I just got here. Well, what's going on? Where is she?
Mr. Collins, party of 3. Cable right this way.
Well, this is a double treat. I get to spend your birthday with you, and I get to avoid the courthouse cafeteria.
I've been looking forward to meeting you, too. Stuart tells me you're a judge. That must be fascinating work.
Well, it's never dull.
One never thinks about what judges do when they're not in their robes, does one?
This one does.
Stuart also tells me you're a proponent of judicial reform.
Yeah. Well, judicial reform is sort of a big umbrella. There's judicial education, policy reform, alternative dispute resolution, et cetera, on the county, state, and national level.
Well, whichever. I just wondered what you do about it.
Excuse me?
Committees, lobbies, letter writing campaigns.
Mother is a crusader. I should have warned you.
Oh. Well, I don't know that I actually do anything. I read and I try to stay informed.
I see. You're an armchair liberal. Hey, that's okay. We all start there.
Mother is chairperson of the Council for the Propagation of Excellence.
Well, that's excellent.
I'll send you our packet.
That would be nice.
Mother is a vanguard of the New Left.
I hear the New Left is really the old right.
Oh, some of us don't consider the current state of the world a laughing matter.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize we were talking about the world.
Well, now that you do, what is your position?
On the world? I'm for it. Go world.
She actually thought that was very funny, but if the New Left finds out that she has a sense of humor, they'll, kick her out of the club.
No, Joanne, you're right. I was being flippant. It's a bad habit of mine. I apologize.
There's no need.
I've had the duck. It's terrific if you're in a foul mood.
Stuart, I'm trying to have an edifying conversation with Annie.
Amy, why don't we just enjoy our lunch and we can save the edifying conversation for dessert and coffee?
I like that idea.
I'm merely trying to determine what you do, dear. How do you contribute?
How do I contribute to the world?
If you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. Well, every morning I get up, I empty the dishwasher, I take out the trash, I change light bulbs, I start a grocery list, I pay a few bills. I make Lauren's breakfast, I get her off to school. This time of year, I might kill a few dozen ants and yell at whoever left the honey out. After that, I spend my day making life-altering decisions for warring couples or taking children away from parents who are selling them into child pornography and numerous other cases, equally cheerful. I go home, I make dinner, I help Lauren with her homework. I might hug her while she cries because Amanda told Christy that Lauren can't be in their club anymore. I get her off to bed, and then I sit down, I start writing my opinions, or I do my own research because the state budget is in permanent deficit, so I'm sharing a clerk with the 15 other juvenile court judges, and then I get about 5 hours sleep. I wake up in the morning and I do it all again. But you are right. In the spare 15 minutes that I do have, I do not email my congressman or write articles to be read by 11 other people who already agree with me. But I'm looking forward to reading your pamphlet.
I think I will have the duck.
Dina.
Maxine.
Good afternoon.
Hi. Come in.
Thank you.
I didn't expect you today.
Well, that's what spot checks are all about. It's take your granddaughter to work day today.
Mom. It's okay, Emily. Maxine's just stopping by to see how we're doing. This is her granddaughter.
Lauren.
Hi. Hi.
Why don't you two girls play together for a while? I've got some boring things to talk about with Dina.
Go ahead, honey. Why don't you show Lauren your room?
Okay. Lauren. This is it. Oh, it's nice. It's the first room I've ever had that's all mine. What do you mean? Before, we stayed with a friend of my mom's and I had to share a room with his 2 kids. My mom got sick. I had to stay with these people and share a room with their daughter. Was your mom in the hospital? I don't know. I wasn't allowed to see her. She said she took a lot of bad stuff that made her have bad judgment, and she hung with the wrong crowd. But not anymore. Do you live with your mom? Yeah, my grandma lives there too. Do you like teddy bears? Yeah, I've got like 10 of them. 10? Mm-hmm. My mom gets me one every birthday. It's like our tradition. I only have this one. Oh, don't cry. That one's really cool. If I could only have one, that's the one I would want. Is she gonna take me away from my mom again? My grandma? No, she wouldn't do that. She did before. She did? That's what she does. She takes kids away from their homes and puts them with strangers. That's her job. Didn't you know that?
That was a long lunch. They put the flat iron steak back on the menu.
I went to see Heather.
Ah,
She's not interested in coming back, so she's done with medicine.
typical addict.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just that it's typical reactionary behavior from an addict.
What would you know about it?
True, I've never been an addict, but I have employed addicts and I have gained a lot of insight.
Okay, let me clue you in on a couple of things. First, just because somebody doesn't live their life by your standards doesn't make them wrong. And I seriously doubt that you or anyone else knows Heather better than she knows herself.
What are you talking about?
If Heather knows that medicine isn't for her or she feels she can handle a drink now and then, God bless her. Who are you to say she's wrong?
I think Heather knows what a load of crap that argument is.
Dr. Redeker, ambulance is bringing in a kid with head trauma.
Go with him and do the prelim. Don't look at me like that. Just go with him.
Who leaves their child unattended in a building full of felons?
She wasn't unattended, Mia. She took off.
Because no one was watching her.
Do not show up 8 hours late and start second-guessing me. Rebecca wasn't supposed to be here in the first place.
Oh, it's my fault for having a life.
Your life never includes your daughter, except when it's convenient.
Bruce. Hi. I heard what happened. I'm gonna go talk to that cop again.
Rebecca's still missing.
Oh my God. Bruce, the hospital's on line 1. Rebecca was just brought in, unconscious.
Rebecca, can you hear me? Can you hear my voice? Rebecca.
Is she okay?
We're not sure yet. We think that she had a seizure and that she fell down a flight of concrete stairs.
A seizure. She takes medicine for that, for epilepsy.
No, she was arguing with me about it. I think maybe she didn't take it.
You think maybe?
Mia, can we do this later? But she's gonna be okay, right?
She has an epidural hematoma. There's a lot of pressure on her brain. She's on her way to OR.
She's having surgery.
It's the only way that we can relieve the pressure. Look, I have to go up there right now to help assist, but I will come back as soon as I can to let you know how it's going.
Thank you, Kyle. I assumed she had taken the pill. I didn't stand there and watch her do it. I'm sorry.
You're awfully quiet. I hope you weren't too bored while I was doing all that paperwork.
I was okay.
I came over as soon as I realized that Kimberly was bending your ear. Bending your ear is used here to indicate that a person of questionable interest was pontificating. Pontificating is used here to indicate excessive verbiage. And I'm running out of material, Lauren.
I get it, Grandma. You're imitating the Lemony Snicket books.
Which apparently you don't find hilarious.
That girl, Emily.
Yes?
She said your job is to take kids away from their parents and to make them live with strangers.
That is sometimes an aspect of my job.
Emily is really happy with her mom.
Right now, Emily doesn't have anything to worry about. But sometimes when people straighten up, they don't straighten up for good. So I have to keep checking to make sure that children are safe. And that is my job.
Even if that means taking them away from their real mother and making them live with strangers?
Yes, even if it means taking them out of dangerous situations and making them live with safe people who they don't know.
If I gave you one of my teddy bears, would you give it to Emily?
Yes, I would.
Do you think it would be okay with Mom?
I think it would be very okay.
Donna told me. How is she?
She's in surgery. She has pressure on her brain.
Oh, God.
Kyle's with her.
Well, that's good. He's a good doctor. Is me here?
Yeah, she's in the chapel, praying for a truck to hit me.
She can't blame you for this. Where was she today?
Forget it. I'm praying for the truck, too.
You doing the Catholic guilt spiral?
Rebecca could have died.
Well, she didn't. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
I'm so busy trying to save some kid I've known less than a year. I wasn't paying attention to my own child.
Bruce, you had a chaotic situation. You handled it the best way you knew how. It's okay.
It was okay. Rebecca's in surgery. Samuel Stackhouse is in prison.
She's gonna be fine. She's in recovery, so she'll be groggy for half an hour or so.
I gotta tell Rebecca's mother.
Hey, Bruce, just so you know, Samuel Stackhouse is probably in his room right now playing video games and avoiding his homework. He showed up 2 on the dot. He's off probation.
Come in. I've been calling you all day. Is Bruce's daughter okay?
Yes, thank God.
And how are you?
I'm an idiot. You really shouldn't take me to restaurants anymore. I'm so sorry.
No, don't be. It was nice to see someone else fall into her web of destruction.
But you'd been getting along with your mom, and then I wrecked it.
I didn't say we were getting along. I said we were speaking. She called me 5 times this afternoon to tell me how much she hated you, so we're still speaking. And as long as I don't try to defend you, there's no problem.
You didn't defend me?
Do I look like a nutcase?
I don't know if I like that.
You shouldn't. I told her that she better get used to you because I'm planning on you being around for a long time.
Rebecca, can you hear me?
Honey?
Where am I?
You're in the hospital, but you're fine.
I'm in trouble. Right?
Trouble?
Because I didn't take my pills.
I think we can consider a trip to the emergency room punishment enough.
Honey, you have a medical condition, and if you don't take those pills...
I get it, Mom. I wind up in the hospital. I was just going for a walk around the block. I was bored.
I thought you were mad at me.
I was mad at you. Then I got bored. Now, I'm just tired.
I know how you feel.
Why don't you go get some rest? I'll stay here with her.
I love you, Becca. I'll see you in the morning.
It's not my fault. I did the best I could.
Hey, Noodle. Why aren't you in bed?
Mom!
What's all this about?
I just missed you.
Well, I missed you too.
Lauren may have seen more of the real world today than she bargained for.
Mom, have I ever thanked you?
For what?
Everything.
No. I don't think you have ever thanked me for everything.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
She's going to work with you more often.
Hi.
If this is a surprise party, then you forgot the other guests.
I brought these for Rebecca. I didn't think you'd be here. I was gonna tie them to the doorknob.
That was thoughtful of you.
So, here they are.
Are you coming in?
Is it okay? I know you're probably tired.
Can I get you a glass of wine?
Do you feel up to socializing?
Sorry.
What?
Would you stop trying to be coy? Because you can do a lot of things, but you cannot pull off coy.
What are you talking about?
You didn't think I'd be here?
I thought you'd be at the hospital.
But you rang the bell.
I was just making sure.
Mm-hmm.
What?
You didn't drive over here hoping I'd be here?
I could have called.
You could have brought the balloons tomorrow.
Okay, maybe. I hoped you would be here. A little.
A little.
What do you want from me?
I want you to admit that you came over here with Hubba Hubba Big Man on your mind.
Okay.
Okay. What?
Okay. I admit it.
You admit what?
Hubba Hubba Big Man.
It has worked, hasn't it? You'll be all right now. I know it's worked.
Lauren.
No. Stu here. Lauren's the short one with all the hair.
We fell asleep.
How do you know? Maybe the aliens stole us and replaced us with clones. Maybe they just stole our souls and now we're soulless, craven, hedonistic sex bunnies. I don't know. I wanted to rent Dude, Where's My Car?
I gotta go home.
No, you don't. Why? Because I said sex bunnies?
No, because it's the middle of the week. I have to go to bed way too late so I can wake up way too early so I can go to a job that is slowly sucking the life out of me.
So how about tomorrow? You want to go to the new French-Japanese place?
I promised Lauren all-American meatloaf. What about the next night?
I'll pick you up at 7:30.
I'll meet you.
Again with the meeting me. Who are you hiding me from? Your mother?
Your mother knows all about us.
So it's worse. You're hiding me from Lauren.
I'm not hiding you. You've been to the house. She's seen you.
Have you told her we're dating?
Not in so many words. It hasn't come up.
That's not a good sign.
What?
When a single mom hasn't told her kid about you, it's because she's not sure whether or not you're a keeper. I read an article. Well, if that's not it, then why haven't you told her?
I've been busy. I don't know. It's not the kind of thing you can toss out to her when she's brushing her teeth.
Lauren,
Okay.
guess what?
All right.
I'm dating this terrific and exceptionally good-looking guy. Really, Mom? That's great. I'm so happy for you. Tell me more.
Okay. I will tell her soon.
How soon?
Is tomorrow soon enough?
What time does she go to bed? Yes, tomorrow's good.
Insecurity is not your sexiest quality.
It's gone. But I am a keeper, right?
Good morning.
Okay, way too early in the morning to be that cheerful.
Someone out late on a school night?
Oh, God, I forgot to preset this.
No, you didn't. Don't worry. More is on the way.
You stole my coffee?
The EPA has declared the coffee at St. Mike's to be a biohazard.
It's 2 thermoses. You got a new addiction?
One of them is for Dr. Redeker.
Really?
Strictly about caffeine.
Hey, from what I saw, I'm for anything that'll thaw her out.
We let her. She was mad at me. In fact, she's mad at me about 85% of the time.
That other 15%? Kill her.
She's my boss.
And you like her.
Whom does Kyle like?
No one.
Dr. Redeker.
Oh, I thought you were seeing that terribly thin, dark-haired girl.
Exactly. Listen to your mother. I'm seeing that terribly thin, dark-haired girl.
One of those thermoses is for Dr. Redeker.
Interesting.
No, it's not. Nothing here is interesting. This is the self-serving action of a Weasley brown-noser pathetically trying to suck up to his boss. End of story.
Interesting.
How come he never tries to suck up to us?
Speak for yourself. Judge Gray! Guess what?
Seeing a terrific and exceptionally good-looking guy, and you don't understand why you haven't told Ariadne about it.
No? You want another guess?
Donna,
Bruce has a mediation. I called upstairs to try and arrange us up.
Yeah?
You're looking at your sub. Only for half a day, because I got a clerk for Judge Rogers this afternoon.
Where's his clerk?
They ran out of money and moved him to part-time last month.
Love the end of the fiscal year.
James has been doing extremely well. He checks in regularly, he's making honor roll, and hasn't violated a violation petition to be approved.
The record says you were disoriented and mouthed off.
Because I didn't know who the guy was. We were just riding around. We didn't do anything.
But you knew you were violating the terms of your probation.
But I couldn't help it. I was stuck.
James is on probation for a weapons charge,
Firecrackers.
which detonated in the locker at school.
After school, no one was hurt.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Need more time on this. I want to review the records. Maybe talk to this Wallace Bell.
Why? I'm his PO. You're obligated to take my recommendation.
I'm obligated to give it weight, and I will. But I need more time.
Lucinda Roan petitioning to regain custody of her 16-year-old daughter, Callie.
Mr. Dyer, please begin.
Your Honor, the circumstances which led to the removal of my client's child by DCF have been fully addressed. Lucinda Roan has a job, is drug-free, and attending a maintenance program regularly.
With all due respect, Your Honor, Lucinda Roan has been on the road to recovery many times before and has yet to make it past the nearest crack house.
Judge Gray.
Ms. Friedman, play nice.
She has a long history of being unfit.
If anyone's unfit, it's DCF. You ask me.
And you may answer when I ask you, but not until then. So DCF is seeking to terminate parental rights?
No, Your Honor.
Well, so at some point, I assume, if Ms. Roan remains drug-free and employed, the DCF would recommend...
There's no time. They're gonna let Callie get married now.
Is there a wedding in Ms. Roan's future?
Yes. DCF believes it's in her best interest.
She's pregnant?
No.
Well, I can't imagine any caseworker thinking marriage at 16 is a wise course of action.
Sorry, I'm late. Kimberly Fallon, Callie Roan's caseworker.
Maybe one.
You're late.
I was out begging for money.
Where's your tin cup?
I would have done a better job with a tin cup. Let's just say that corporate Hartford is not feeling particularly generous to St. Michael's.
Well, your day just got better. Doesn't have that sick hospital taste, does it? Brought it from home. Plus, free refills.
Suck up.
Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. Waha.
You've had some upbringing. You can sit through the ballet without snickering at men in tights, can't you?
Is smirking allowed?
Royal Winnipeg Ballet is in town, and Lorraine Benton, the only person to donate any kind of real money to the hospital, gave me 2 tickets. Do you want to go?
Me?
Yeah, unless you have other plans.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm free.
Are you sure? I realize you have a complicated social life with certain former medical professionals.
It's not that complicated. Let me worry about all the medical professionals in my life.
Fair enough. My friend canceled this morning. Mrs. Benton will be there, and I need someone presentable to be there in the other seat.
I can be presentable with enough notice.
7:30, black tie.
So this friend of yours who canceled, he won't mind you taking another guy. I mean, he's not going to show up at the last minute and try to beat me up, will he?
She's pretty nonviolent. College roommate. She's a surgeon at Sloan Kettering.
Oh. Okay.
Presentable. 7:30.
It's not a date.
It walks like a date and talks like a date.
It's a business function. We're taking separate cars.
What does the Royal Winnipeg have to do with medicine?
A ballerina could break an ankle.
Or someone in the audience named Lily could need some mouth-to-mouth.
You married a child.
I know, but he's cute. I'm knitting a blanket for the baby, and it's white for now, but I will add a border when someone tells me what the color should be.
I already know. It should be pink.
Congratulations.
Oh, sweetheart.
Jillian, I didn't know you went to the doctor today.
Oh, I didn't.
You called him?
No,
Then how do you know?
I just know.
I wouldn't rely on that nonsense about carrying high and low. I'm speaking from experience.
Trust me, it's a girl.
I wanted a girl.
Sexist.
Kyle, will you take in the salad? And I will turn on Tchaikovsky so that you can brush up on Sleeping Beauty while we eat.
I don't have to critique it. I only have to stay awake.
Why aren't you going to a ballet?
No one invited me.
Why is that, Mom? Do you have like a bad personality around men?
What?
Well, you're pretty, but no one ever asks you out on a date.
That's not true.
No one has in a long time.
Lauren. Don't forget the bread.
Please. You think after 16 years of smoking weed and snorting coke, my mother's gonna suddenly morph into Carol Brady?
Sweetheart, people can change.
Sweetheart? God, you should urine test her now.
Callie.
Do you know how many times she has promised that she would change?
This time, I mean it.
Every time you mean it.
Ms. Roan, I have read Callie's file. You've had custody returned to you and revoked 3 times.
Every time she gives me this speech about how things are gonna be different. Now she's clean. She's got a job. We'll get a house. Then a month later, she'd hook up with some lowlife and they get high and disappear.
Baby, that's not true.
I am not falling for her lies anymore. I'm gonna decide what's best for me. This is my life.
Technically, it's not fully your life for another few years.
Yeah, if I had murdered Taylor, we'd all be in adult court right now, end of story. But marry him, I'm too young.
Okay, Callie. Well, you're obviously a very intelligent young woman, so you can understand that I look at your record and I see you in and out of foster homes. I count 7 different placements, averaging 2 runaways each. Nothing here recommends you as a stable or mature individual.
Look, I don't use drugs. I don't steal. I don't flunk out. But they've got these stupid curfews and bedtimes. You treat people like a child, they're gonna act like one.
So you think being married is gonna be easier than being a foster child?
Yeah, I do. You see, Taylor and I, we have it all worked out. Okay? First, he insisted I finish high school, which isn't a problem since it's only 2 blocks away from the condo that he bought. Second,
That he bought? How old is Taylor?
He's 26.
He's 10 years older than you?
So, Michael Douglas is 20 years older than Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Miss Fallon, did you know about this?
About Michael Douglas? Yeah, everyone knows that.
No, about Callie.
I did know, yes.
Well, I think I should talk to Taylor Evans.
Why? He's not on trial.
Something we'd like to correct, Your Honor. We've asked the state repeatedly to file statutory rape charges.
What? No! Taylor is a good guy.
Yeah, good guy who's having sex with a minor.
Objection. No, we have not had sex once since he found out how old I was. And anyways, it's a stupid law.
It's a fitness hearing, Your Honor. Mr. Evans' role is irrelevant.
My mother is
All
not
right,
fit.
okay. All right, everybody, stop. Attorneys, you in my chambers.
These kids were all repeat offenders. Nathan Ryder, George Monroe, Trent Bonney. They all knew each other in detention.
James was only in detention for a month.
James didn't mention a third guy.
Trent Bonney, school records show he skipped the same day, but he was gone by the time I caught up with them. So I rounded up my boys, ran a check on yours, took them all in for tox screens.
Which James passed.
They all passed. So they weren't using. Doesn't mean they weren't conspiring. The point is, 3 probationers got no business socializing. Something else bothered me. They were filthy.
What do you mean?
Covered in mud. Gotta ask yourself why. Those boys in Colorado, bet they had meetings in the woods.
If you're implying that James is planning something like Columbine,
I'm not implying anything, Miss Hurley. I'm just putting my 20 years on the job against just 6 months.
10.
And saying, personally, I don't trust that kid any further than I can throw him. I'd send him back to the judge.
One man's opinion.
Why haven't charges been filed against Taylor Evans?
Callie used a false ID to get a job in a bar. That's where he met her.
I didn't know she was a minor isn't much of a defense.
She was his waitress. She was serving him gin and tonics. By law,
You have to be 21 or older if your job includes serving alcohol.
I didn't know strikes me as an extremely reasonable defense.
How does it strike the district attorney?
Since Callie is 16 and this matter is already complicated without adding retroactive statutory rape charges to the mix.
Fine. For Mr. Evans's peace of mind as well as my own, I would like that in writing. Thank you.
Your Honor, as long as we're here.
We are no longer here, Miss Fallon. I will see you back here when you bring Mr. Evans.
May I at least observe that working with you bears a remarkable resemblance to working with your mother?
Thank you.
You don't waste any time.
Can't afford to. Once this baby is born, I won't be able to take a breath for at least 18 years. What are you doing home?
Oh, my business lunch was canceled. Second time. People are in complete denial about their need for long-term care insurance. Are you sure you want little ballerinas dancing all over the baby's room? If it's a boy, you could end up wearing chiffon, getting beaten up at school. A lot.
It's a girl.
Because you just know.
Yeah.
If you decided you want to know, we could get the doctor to tell us for sure.
He will when the baby is born.
No, I mean now, from the amnio.
Those test results are bogus.
You can't just declare the test results bogus because you're unhappy with what the doctor told us.
It's not because I'm unhappy. It's because I know.
What is with all this I know stuff? You've never shown any sign of having ESP or any kind of foresight.
Peter, it's fine if you don't believe me. But it doesn't change what I know. And you're wrong about my never having any foresight. I knew on our first date that you were the man I was going to marry.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
You never told me that.
Our baby is healthy. And she's a girl.
So, for tonight, I can wear jeans, right? It's a good thing I brought that tie for backup.
Do not embarrass me.
What have you got? Caucasian, female? 20.
Trauma 1's open.
Mother friend are unconscious. Suicide attempt.
BP 60 over 30, pulse 164, respiration 7.
Do you know what she took?
Ethylene glycol.
Antifreeze? 1, 2, 3. How long ago?
Mother doesn't know. Could be hours.
We'll start an IV and bolus her now. Give me a SMAC 24 CBC with diff. Has she vomited?
Before we got there.
Intubate, start a gastric lavage, and prep her for hemodialysis.
Stir charcoal with 3 times.
Get an NG 2 minutes death.
Got that?
Here you are, sir.
Want me to get more mashed potatoes?
Can I get that house dressing on that?
Hi, beautiful.
Hi, handsome.
I'm assuming that giving you a big kiss in the middle of the cafeteria wouldn't be a good idea.
No. There's always the stop button on the elevator.
I'll keep that in mind. So how did it go?
What?
With Lauren. What did she say when you told her about us?
I didn't.
Why not?
Honestly, I don't really know. Stu, this is not me avoiding telling Lauren about us.
Well, man, it's certainly not woohoo, let's shout it from the rooftops.
Telling your kid that you're involved with someone is a really big deal.
I know, that's the point.
Yes, it is. And I will. Where are we going to go to dinner?
Actually, I need a rain check. I have to work.
You canceling because I didn't tell Lauren?
No, I really need to work. I'll call you.
I'm not sure how secure this shunt is.
It'll hold. Just get it moving. We need to get this stuff out of her blood.
Damn it, Dr. Redeker.
What's wrong?
The machine's not responding.
Is everything connected?
I'll check. Yeah, we gotta get her to the upstairs unit.
The upstairs unit isn't operational. We gotta move her.
When did we lose the upstairs unit?
Last night.
She's gonna go into organ failure. 1, 2, 3.
Natalie, please, that's my daughter.
Sorry, ma'am, you're gonna have to get out of the way.
What's wrong? Where are you taking her?
Put her in an ambulance. Mercy General is closest. Call ahead, tell them we're sending a critical in need of immediate hemodialysis.
Mercy General? That's a half hour away.
I'm sorry, ma'am. There's nothing we can do to help her here.
Look, I know how this is gonna sound, but there's no other way to put it. I genuinely thought that Callie was 21, 22 years old. She was serving me drinks.
But now you know better.
Yes, and it doesn't change who she is. 16, it's just a number.
It's not the right number. Why don't you wait 2 years? Wouldn't it be more prudent?
I'm afraid of what'll happen between now and then.
I'll tell you what'll happen. Callie's gonna mature.
Where's she gonna live? Her mom's stolen from Callie her whole life to buy drugs. And Callie hates her, and she hates foster care even more. Either way, she's gonna end up running, and I'll be the first place that everyone looks. So she won't come to me. She's gonna end up on the streets or a bus station or worse.
You've known Callie for such a short time.
You were right, Probably the most prudent thing that I could do would be to say that this isn't my problem and to walk away. I did not set out to fall in love with a 16-year-old, Your Honor. I mean, my life would be a lot simpler right now if I hadn't. But that's what happened.
All right, well, obviously you know Callie's history. Her first response to any difficult situation is to run.
She's strong-willed.
Yeah, she's a teenager. Oh, okay, let's say you get married. All marriages hit rough spots. What will you do if she runs from you?
Believe me, I've thought about that. And I think the honest answer is, I don't know. But if I can always show Callie that I love her and respect who she is, provide a home where she feels warm and safe, then maybe she'll trust me enough that she doesn't have to run. That's what I'm working towards.
That's her right there. The records are changed.
Peter, I was just on my way out.
Jillian wanted me to drop this off. For the baby blanket?
I could have picked up pink yarn.
But would it have been the exact apple blossom pink, which, as it turns out, is critical to the nursery's color scheme?
No, possibly not.
The baby will be here any minute, so I figured you want to get started ASAP.
And we're sure about pink.
Jillian is. She's absolutely positive.
Were you hoping for another boy?
No, that's out of my hands. All I'm hoping for is a healthy baby. I'm afraid that part is out of my hands, too.
Peter.
You know, I tell you the truth, I hope it is a girl because I need Jillian to be right. If she's right about the baby being a girl, maybe she's right about the rest of it. Heard anything from Mercy General?
No, nothing yet. Do you remember in your interview when you said that most of our equipment wouldn't pass muster in downtown Russia?
I was exaggerating. Trying not to get the job. You see how well that worked.
That woman might die because they brought her to my ER first.
Oh, come on. The sign out front says St. Michael's, not St. Lily's.
Well, I'm the chief of staff.
And you're doing an incredible job. You're holding this place together.
That's all I'm doing. I don't know about you, but when I signed on here, it wasn't just to hold some dying hospital together. I actually thought I was going to be able to turn it around and build it into something. Every year it just keeps getting worse.
Makes you feel any better? I think we've bottomed out. I really do. If it keeps getting worse, you can always call your friend at Sloan Kettering and beg for a job.
Won't have to beg.
What? Tell me you're kidding.
She offered me a job a couple months ago.
You can't leave St. Michael's. You're like the soul of this place.
Huh. No wonder it's in such sorry shape.
Look, if you don't feel up to this thing tonight, you can bail. It's okay.
No. Truth is, tonight's the one thing I've been looking forward to.
Ordinarily, this would be a no-brainer. This violation isn't the kind of thing I would kick over to the judge, but I got an uneasy feeling, James. I've learned to rely on my feelings over the years.
That was meant for me, James.
What was?
These little pinpricks about my lack of experience. I implore you not to punish James for what you perceive to be my inadequacy.
What'd you guys do that day?
Hung out, drove around, and we didn't do anything wrong.
So you keep saying. But nobody's accused you of doing anything other than skipping school.
At the risk of pulling a string in your tightly knit theory, James is guilty by projection. You're treating him like a criminal, and so he's coming across as one big surprise.
Bruce Van Exel. I see. And all of this has been confirmed. Yes, that changes everything. Thank you for calling. That was Wallace Bell. He told me something very interesting. Do you have any idea what that is, James? He told me about a boy named Trent Bonney. He was seen getting in the car with you and your friends the day you skipped school. And nobody has seen him since. James?
I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
I thought you had a dinner date. Change of plans. Where's Lauren?
She's on the phone begging her father to bring her science textbook over here. She left it at his house over the weekend.
Is that your high school yearbook? I haven't seen that since
high school.
Yeah.
Keep it hidden for a reason.
Oh. Oh, look at you. Are we feeling nostalgic, or are we just feeling old?
I was thinking about the guys in my life.
Oh.
And why they don't stay in my life. Mom.
Oh, who could forget Ronnie Banks? I couldn't wait for that Ronnie Banks experiment to end.
I loved him.
You were 16.
He wanted to elope with me. I seriously considered it.
You did not.
How do you know?
Amy, for pity's sake, I listened in on your phone calls.
Civil liberties?
It was your father's idea. He was the one who worried. I always knew you were too smart to run off at 16.
Maybe he gave me too much credit. I'm a genius that married Michael.
As I remember, you decided that with a coin toss.
Mom, did you really never have any doubt about Dad being right for you?
Not one. Not with your father. Not with Jared either, for that matter.
It must be nice to have that kind of insight.
Well, it's not insight. It's just plain dumb luck. You don't know what you're getting into, really, until you jump in.
Then what's the matter with me?
Nothing. There's nothing the matter with you.
How come all of a sudden I'm afraid to jump?
I was too effusive. I thanked her 4 times for the tickets.
You were grateful.
I told her I thought the Yellow Fairy was the best part of the performance.
She was thrilled. That was her niece.
Yes, that's why I said it. I might as well have just put the donation plate up under her nose. I was completely transparent.
In that dress? I wish.
You don't clean up so bad yourself.
Well, you said I had to be presentable.
And you went the extra mile. I'm impressed.
Thanks.
So,
It's a good thing this isn't a date.
I know.
Because if it were, I'd be wondering how to say goodnight.
Well, how do you want to say goodnight? Occupational hazard.
Tell them you're busy and can't be bothered.
Redeker. When? Okay, thanks for calling. Mercy General, our suicide attempt, she succeeded.
Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have some calls to make. I'll see you tomorrow.
Lily, you have to know that you did your best. You did everything you could, and it happens. Patients die.
Yeah, well, they do if they come to St. Michael's.
Are we getting closer?
I don't know.
I've got something. Over here.
Is that Trent?
It was something that happened in detention. Something about him narking on him to make a deal. The whole time they planned this, but I didn't know. All right, I didn't know. They snuck up behind him with a rock, and they just kept hitting with it. And all of a sudden, it was just happening. I yelled at them to stop, but then they looked at me like I was next, so I shut up. I'm sorry.
One misplaced science workbook as requested.
Look at you, Father of the Year.
Is Lauren still up?
No, she's asleep.
Oh. All right.
You're just gonna go?
Oh, it's a long drive back.
Well, yeah. Do you want to come in? I can make you a cup of coffee.
Really?
You sound surprised. I know how to make a cup of coffee.
It's not that. It's just, you're not gonna throw luggage at me, maybe, are you?
Come on. I haven't thrown anything at you in months.
How's Maxine holding up?
She's good, considering.
And you? Considering?
I have to ask you something. Do you think I'm relationship challenged?
This have anything to do with the extra weekends I've been getting with Lauren?
And seeing somebody.
And what, he dumped you?
No, he's crazy about me.
Well, of course he is. Does Lauren like him?
I haven't told her that we're dating.
Well, why not?
Why not? Because I'm not ready. Because I've screwed up so many times in the past and I'm afraid to say the word boyfriend out loud. Every time I do, it's like it's the beginning of the end. Every time. And I pick the wrong guys. They're too tame or too wild, too young, too spoken for.
What was I?
You? You? Well, come on. At the time, you were the love of my life.
At the time?
We had everything in common.
And great sex.
Yeah.
I'd like to underline the successes. I did so many things wrong.
Maybe it wasn't you. I don't know. Maybe it was me all along. I mean, don't you think... Isn't there a possibility that it was my fault that our marriage blew up?
Is this a trick question?
No. No, I'm serious. Maybe I have something. It's like a self-destructive chromosome that makes me ruin all my relationships.
Nah, it's not your problem.
What is it then?
You're secretly in love with someone else.
Sorry. Been there. Done you.
You're not the new and improved model.
I'm cutting you off.
Amy, our divorce was my fault. If you're having a problem now, it's because you got stuck with a crummy husband and you're worried it'll happen again.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 months of therapy, huh? But I can see its benefits. Because once upon a time, even though I couldn't see it then, I had a wife who showed me how good it can be. Oh, I'll pick Lauren up
6
o'clock Friday. Thanks for the call.
Watch your head.
Are you okay?
Other than being a naive idiot, I'm fine.
You couldn't have seen this coming.
You did. And it's not the years you have on me. I believed in that kid so completely.
You were pulling for him. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing except for the fact that he was an accomplice to murder. And I wanted to overlook it. I'm not cut out for this.
Don't make that decision tonight.
I don't know the first thing about human nature. It's all just some ridiculous idea in my head.
Listen to me. I work with a lot of probation officers. This profession is full of cynics and frustrated vigilantes. You're idealistic. So what? You don't want to lose that entirely. Wait till you get a couple wins under your belt. See some kid change his life. All you need is one of those. Get you through the dark times. And it does happen.
Thanks for squeezing me in.
Good to see you. How's Jillian?
She's doing well. Dealing with the diagnosis in her own way.
That's good. What's up?
Well, when Jillian and I came in for our amnio results, we didn't get the full report. We're a little rattled by the bad news, I guess.
Understandably. Have you contacted a support group?
I have. Jillian is hopeful that it won't be necessary.
Yeah. Still, you're going to want to be prepared. I see here we're still waiting on a call from Jillian to talk about a scheduled C-section. This should be on the books by now.
Oh, we talked about that. She wants to go all natural, Lamaze, no drugs, lots of swearing.
If congenital anomalies are present, chances are your baby will be extremely fragile. A vaginal delivery could be hard on him.
I'm sorry, on him?
On the baby. You knew you were having a boy, right? My file says that you were informed during your last visit?
No, we never got to that part.
Oh, the nurse must have, Well, it doesn't matter. I apologize. We're usually quite diligent about this sort of thing. Our nursing staff has changed a bit in the past year, and, well, anyway, how's Jillian doing with her new prenatal vitamins?
All right.
Good afternoon. Well, there is no question in my mind that 16 years old is too young to get married. I'm hoping that my own daughter waits until she's about 30. I cannot tell you how reluctant I am to issue a ruling that will result in a marriage. However, the only other options available to me are equally troubling. An unreliable mother, 2 years in lockdown, a life spent running from foster homes, living in the street. So since they're all risky propositions, I'm going to take my chance with you two. So I am denying the petition for custody and allowing BCF to sign off on the marriage. But I'm not finished. Callie, if you think getting married means no rules, think again. Taking your vows means taking on serious responsibilities. Ignore them and your marriage doesn't stand a chance. And Ms. Roan, do not make the second worst mistake of your life and start using again. Your daughter's going to need all the help she can get for her marriage to succeed. Half of them fail. And if this one does, speaking from personal experience, I can tell you that nothing is more important than having a loving, strong mother to come home to. Good luck to all of you.
Hi.
Hi. I'm just about done. I ordered this weeks ago and it just arrived today. Is that good luck or what? You think she's gonna like it?
It's perfect. She's gonna love it.
I hope you're hungry. I made dinner.
I finished my homework. What's for dinner?
Grandma's making turkey burgers for you. And, I have a date.
With who?
Stuart Collins.
A real date?
Yep. Real coming to the door to pick me up. Gonna be out past 10 date?
So is he your boyfriend?
Yeah. Yeah, he is. And he's a terrific and exceptionally good-looking guy.
Cool.
Think?
You should have a boyfriend. You're pretty and smart and fun to hang out with. You shouldn't be all alone in the world.
I'm not all alone.
You know what I mean. Just don't marry him, though.
Come on, some of us have to get back to work. Hurry up. Those women don't take that long getting dressed.
Pretty slick, huh? It's not too...
Johnny Cochran? No, it's good.
It's my first murder one, and it's Judge Stenson. Everybody says he responds to this kind of thing, but... What? It's kind of suck-uppy, huh?
No, I was just wondering why no one ever buys a new suit to come into my courtroom.
So, do we like? Thoughts, feelings?
I like. I mean, who wouldn't? Of course, it costs more than my first car.
What does your wife think?
My wife?
You ever seen your husband look this good?
No, he's not. I'm not.
My wife. Look at her. She's overwhelmed. She doesn't have the words.
We're not actually married.
Not to each other.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought that... Well, look at you two. You look so good together. I just assumed you were married.
It's got a point. We do look good together.
Okay, my session starts in 10 minutes. I gotta get going.
Wait, seriously. What do you think?
What do I think?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
You're asking me what I think?
Yeah, of course I am. It feels right, doesn't it? At least it does to me. What do you think? Hold that thought. What's up? Oh, God. Is he gonna be okay? My client just knifed his cellmate. Okay, tell him he doesn't talk to anyone until I get there, and we're gonna... just hold on one second. I'm sorry about this, but I gotta get down there. But I will call you later, for your answer. Yes, all right. I'm still here. Listen, cancel my afternoon and get the state's attorney on the phone. And with me to file a motion for a continuance.
My answer? What was the question?
Oh, that looks like it hurts.
What, this? Nah. Really only well, hurts when I breathe.
What happened this time?
Same story, different client. Guy thought he was gonna walk. Judge gave him 6 to 10. He didn't see it coming. And, well, neither did I.
Monty?
The city raises the price of coffee 75% in this place. They raise your salary 75%? Not mine. I'm making it up in creamers.
Monty, as I recall, this time last year, someone's fist had just removed 2 of your teeth. Now, why do you suppose that your clients keep assaulting you?
Well, that's easy. It's because they hate me.
Dig a little deeper.
Come on, Maxine. The only real mystery here is why it doesn't happen more often. I mean, how do you suppose my clients got to be my clients? That's who they are. I'm the guy that has to tell them, you're going to jail, and there's nothing more that can be done. I understand why I'm missing teeth. At 9 days out of 10, I come home from some courthouse, I look in the mirror, I want to take a swing at me. I'm sorry, it's been a long week.
And what do you need from me?
Darwin Fletcher, his hearing is today.
He's on my schedule. I'll be there. How does it look?
Could go either way. We drew your daughter this morning. Now, I can take a run at the presiding judge, get it switched to McCormick.
You want Amy. I'll get you another social worker.
Maxine, no offense. I've worked with your department before. Your bench is not that deep. I want you.
Now, if you want to give Darwin Fletcher his best shot, put him in front of Amy. She's the one who's going to see more than just another black face with a drug charge.
Well, I guess, yeah, you're right. She's always been very fair to me. Okay, great. Yeah, one favor. Don't send Kimberly.
Are you sure? Kimberly knows karate.
I actually find that terrifying.
I'm finding you delinquent on the lesser included charge of malicious mischief and sentencing you, Miss Collins, to 6 months probation. Stay in school and out of other people's shrubbery. Next case. Why do I feel like I'm on the assembly line at GM?
I wish. They have a superior dental plan.
Oh, Mr. Fisher.
It's just a nose, Your Honor. It's very resilient.
All right, well, you guys are going to have to help me out because our new presiding judge thinks that I am a team of judges. Okay, this is a hearing to determine probable cause. I'm looking at drug charges. Possession?
We're going for intent.
Yeah, which is beyond ridiculous, Your Honor. The prosecution, in its zeal to prove that every black kid with a little bag of weed
4 bags.
heads a major drug cartel.
Darwin Fletcher was arrested on school grounds distributing to minors. Second offense, Your
No
Honor.
money exchanged hands. He wasn't dealing.
So what, he was sharing?
Okay, enough. In 9 words or less, give me your lineup. How many witnesses?
2, Your Honor. Arresting officer and the teacher who called it in.
11, Your Honor.
11?
3 to the fact that he wasn't dealing. 1 who'll say it wasn't even his marijuana. And character witnesses, including an accredited drug counselor and his Little League coach.
What, none of the nurses who were present at his birth were available?
Oh, that's very funny. Very hostile, but very funny.
This is a hearing to determine probable cause. It is not the trial. Revise your lists, both of you. You get 1 witness apiece.
What? That is grossly unreasonable. And you can't ask for that.
And yet I just did.
No problem, Your Honor.
It's a big problem,
Okay, I'll see you all back here with your single witness sets.
12:30 this afternoon.
Next case.
It's really a financial decision. I just can't afford to keep James anymore.
But why? I don't understand.
Well, you know that Scott died.
Yes. We were all terribly sad to hear about Scott. He was a success story, as is James.
Well, frankly, Maxine, it was a lot easier to get by on 2 stipend checks. But now that we're down to 1.
But you're still working, aren't you? Hartford Savings and Loan?
After the accident, I took some time. I needed to.
Well, of course you did.
I was a mess. The therapy helps, but it's time-consuming. My supervisor at the bank, he was patient at first, but that didn't last.
He's fired you?
He had no choice.
He can't do that.
Well, without a job, I have no benefits. And I'll find something else eventually. But right now, I simply can't afford James. Now, you'll need to find another placement. I'll have him ready to go tomorrow.
Oh, another headache. Keeping those Tylenol people in business, aren't you?
What's your point?
Oh, no point. I'm completely pointless.
Pointless but well dressed. You're not taking out anyone's appendix wearing that, are you? Because you know that stuff stains.
I have a lunch. Sloan Kettering people.
You're kidding. You're taking the job?
I'm talking to them about a job. What? Don't look so surprised. I told you about this the night of the ballet.
Yeah. You know, we never really talked about the night we went to the ballet.
What's there to talk about?
I don't know. Tights, tutus, the fact that we almost kissed.
We didn't kiss.
Oh, we would have kissed had your cell phone not rung. Okay, you can pretend that's not what was going to happen.
It would have been a mistake.
Why?
When I went home that night, where did you go?
I went home. And changed my clothes and went out and saw a friend.
Who happens to work in a bar? Did you have a few drinks? What, do you think I haven't noticed you coming in here 1 or 2 mornings a week hungover? You're going through aspirin like it's vitamin C and you look like hell. It hasn't affected your work yet, but it's only a matter of time.
And that's why it would have been a mistake to kiss me, because I have a couple of drinks every now and then.
Who did you wake up with this morning?
That's none of your business.
You're right. That's none of my business. Do you know why it's none of my business? Because we didn't kiss the other night. I'm late. Wish me luck.
Judge Gray, enjoying a little lunch, are we?
Yeah, nice leisurely lunch. It's exactly the way I like to eat.
Look, one witness is not going to cut it. You have to give me a chance here.
Mr. Fisher, you know we're
You're going to get reversed on repeal.
Well, I expect I will.
My kid has got to go home. He is getting the crap beaten out of him in juvenile.
We're not having this conversation. Mr. Fisher, go away!
It's Julian.
Julian, what's wrong?
I think Peter's having an affair.
What?
I haven't had time to go through Scott's things, and I've been feeling guilty because I know someone else could use them.
I'm sure they could. I stopped by earlier.
Oh, I must have been at the post office.
I thought maybe you were at work. I spoke to your boss. He said he didn't fire you, and he can't imagine where you got that idea.
I thought lying was the easiest way out. I just want this to be simple. Things have been hard enough.
I can understand that. I know what you've been through.
I don't think you do.
I never lost a child, but I lost my fiancé a couple of days before our wedding. A month ago yesterday. So perhaps I can understand your situation better than most.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Sarah, talk to me.
I was so close to Scott. I didn't have the same rapport with James. It's always been that way. But then Scott died, and I don't know. I don't know if he blames me. I just know that he can hardly speak to me anymore. And because of that and what's happened, I just thought it would be better if you placed him with another family.
I see.
I'm sorry if this sounds cold.
I'd like to make an appointment to talk with James.
Maxine, do you have to grill him about it? Hasn't he been through enough?
He has been through so much that I am very hesitant to uproot him again. And I need to convince myself it's a good idea.
Well, he'll probably tell you that everything is fine. Do I have to say it? I don't like him. He's a sour, cranky kid. And I have tried to love him, but I don't. And I want someone else to be his mother.
I know that he's your brother, and of course your first loyalty is going to be to him. I didn't know who else to turn to.
I know Peter. He's just the last guy in the world to have an affair.
And how do you explain these?
What am I looking at?
Emails off the computer? What, they were right there on the screen. Read the first one.
To P. Gray from FunGal26. 7 p.m. Tuesday night at the Fairview Inn, the Colonial Room. Refreshments will be provided. Hope to see you there.
See? FunGal26 Fairview Inn? What does that sound like to you?
Well, I'm not sure, but it doesn't really sound like an affair. Refreshments will be provided?
Well, that's code for something I'd rather not think about.
Oh, they're stacking up outside your courtroom, Judge Gray. We have to get... Oh, sorry. Hi, Jillian.
Hey, Donna. 2 minutes? Jillian, is it possible that you're...
Overreacting? I know that's what you think. That's what you always think. You know, this was a mistake. I should go.
Wait. Why don't you just talk to Peter about this?
I don't think I can. There's something going on with Peter. With us. We don't talk as much anymore. I don't know, maybe it's the pregnancy, the hormones. I mean, look at me. I'm no fun gal 26.
Oh, come on. Who is?
So what happened next?
As soon as I made the U-turn, the police car turned on its siren, pulled me over.
So you admit to making the illegal U-turn?
Of course, I always have. My point is, I didn't know it was illegal. You couldn't see the sign because of all the shrubbery. I brought some Polaroids if you want to take a look.
Let go of me. I'm going in. Your Honor.
What's going on, Mr. Fisher?
My question exactly. You were supposed to hear this case 3 hours ago.
Well, I'm running late. Welcome to the real world.
Okay, look, I bust my hump to get my one witness in here on time.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I tried to warn him.
Who is talking to you?
Mr. Fisher, if you don't take this outside right now, I'm going to have you removed from the courtroom and charged with contempt.
Contempt? My client is going back to lockup to get the piss kicked out of him tonight again because you're hearing an illegal U-turn case. Who is showing
All right, that's it. I want to see counsel in my chambers right now. Mr. Fisher, the only reason you're not in handcuffs and on your way to lock up right now is you have a good track record with me in this court, but you are long overdue on goodwill. You understand that?
You want to put me in jail? Put me in jail. I'll get some sleep. But it doesn't change the fact that my client is due.
Are you looking for a mistrial?
No, I'm looking for due process, Your Honor. A speedy trial, more than one
doing
witness.
the best I can, Mr. Fisher.
You're doing traffic court.
It is
You're doing
not
traffic
my-
court. And the 3 hours that I have to wait for you to adjudicate a speeding ticket are 3 hours that I have to steal from any one of my 54 clients I'm trying to keep out of jail
This juvenile
tonight.
court is doing the work of 3 courts. It is not the system I would have designed, but it's the one we have to live with.
You know they took away half the PDs in my
understand, Mr.
office,
Fisher.
my
I'm up
support
against the
staff, my
same thing.
interpreters.
You did-
If you take away my access to this court, Your Honor, we might as well just forget about the whole thing, okay? Let's hand her a gun and instruct her to take my client out back and shoot him. The end result is the same, and we save the state a few more bucks.
I've heard speech, Mr. Fisher. In fact, I've made this speech. I don't have time for this, and neither do you. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pretend that what happened in there didn't happen.
Oh, that's
and
fantastic. He gets away with this?
No, nothing. He gets away with nothing. After this case is over, I am gonna talk to your supervisor in the PD's department and tell them what happened here today. And in the meantime, if you pull anything like this again, you're gonna be swimming in contempt of court charges and sleeping in lockup. And bring a book, Mr. Fisher, because you're gonna be there a long time. Okay? Mr. Van Exel, would you please escort them out? And call for another 5-minute recess because I'm going to finish my lunch. Thank you, attorneys.
Lauren, 3 minutes.
I heard you before.
Honey, without divulging anything, can you tell me how Monty Fisher's doing?
Slightly better than the airline industry.
Well, he's having a rough time. His wife left him and moved with the kids to Wyoming or Montana. Well, one of those will give me a home states. And then a fellow PD was knifed in the groin last week, so he's feeling a little fragile.
He's a train wreck. But the scary thing is I'm beginning to see exactly how he got there. We shouldn't even be discussing this.
I wasn't discussing, I was just thinking out loud.
Can we think out loud about something else?
As long as it's on the acceptable subjects list.
I think Stu might have proposed.
You think? Did you get a ring? Did the words, "Will you marry me," come out of his mouth?
No.
Then odds are it was not a proposal.
The salesman told us we look good together. Then Stu asked me what I thought. Then he said, "This feels right." That doesn't sound like a proposal to you?
Yes. Unless he was trying on a suit at the time. He was trying on a suit at the time.
You see why I'm confused?
If you knew he was talking about getting married, how would you feel about that?
You're getting married?
No, not me. Someone else. No one you know. Long story. Let's go. You'll be late. To be continued?
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, hands up. Nice job, nice
I just wanted to see how you were doing. I know that you and your mother are very sad about Scott.
Yeah, we're making a book.
About Scott?
And at night, we think of things to write in it, things we remember about him. I find pictures I think he'd like, and we paste them in it.
And you do that every night?
Yeah, and then we talk about what we do that day, and then I go put on my pajamas and stuff like that. And then I just yell ready, and she comes up and reads me a book before I go to sleep.
Well, it sounds as if you and your mother have a very close relationship.
We got lucky to find each other. That's what she used to say every night before I go to sleep.
Doesn't she say that anymore?
She stopped when Scott died.
So I went to see what had caused the pileup. I found Miss Lynn Terry, who had stopped in the middle of
Look,
the...
yo, that's just my point. I mean, how do I get a moving violation if I'm not moving?
Because they don't make idiots stopped in the middle of street violations. Stupid.
Wait. Donna, what are you doing?
There's a plumbing problem upstairs. Everyone on this floor's springing a leak.
Did you call maintenance?
Judge Brumble put out a memo. Unless it's leaking on something electrical, it isn't a priority.
Oh, really? Now it's a priority. Dinner's ready.
Be there in a minute.
You've progressed from a coffee cup to they'll think it's just water.
It is water.
It's getting cold.
Hey, for what it's worth, I'm going through some stuff right now, and frankly, the last thing I need is someone judging me from on high. I realize it's an occupational hazard.
What? Noticing that you're flushing your life down the toilet? You know, it's a minor miracle that you found a hospital that'll take a chance on you and you're throwing it all away. What the hell is your problem?
You know, I'd be happy to tell you if you'd come down off your morally superior high horse long enough to listen.
Okay.
I'm at a crossroads. There's these two women. What? When you have a relationship problem, it's life or death, but for me, it's an eye roll?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Tell me about your two women.
First is my friend Heather. She used to be an intern.
The one who got fired because of you. That didn't put a strain on the relationship?
Actually, she's a lot happier now.
What's she doing?
Something that isn't a ton of pressure. It's a valid option, you know?
And the other is Dr. Redeker?
You don't know Lily.
I know enough. I know she's not the kind of woman who'd attach herself to a so-called recovering addict who only chain smokes and drinks, or a guy who's decided that staying sober is too much work. And you're too smart to delude yourself that this is a choice between two women.
All the apparatus used to scare me. His feeding tube, the wheelchair, the oxygen. But I remember the first time I fed Lucas without the nurse's help. And the feeding tube, just like anything else, you get used to it. We're scheduling another surgery for his scoliosis, and there's a good chance he'll get out of that wheelchair. But even if he doesn't, he's my boy, and I love him.
Jillian. Jillian? Jillian, wait!
Don't talk to me.
I'm going to work.
Bye.
After we talk.
We don't need to talk.
Honey, look, I'm sorry I didn't tell you about the meetings, but I wanted to go a couple times and see what they were like, and then I was going to tell you about them, I swear.
Fine.
I was going to take you with me.
Peter, I'm not angry because I think you hid something from me.
I know you're angry because I went to the meetings in the first place.
I am angry because you won't even consider the possibility that this baby is fine. I went through years of fertility doctors and operations, disappointments. I went through giving up. I went through adoption hell. And then I got pregnant. This is a miracle, whether you want to believe it or not.
I do believe it.
No, you don't. You think it's some kind of horrible cosmic practical joke.
Well, I think we need...
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about pragmatism or reality or any of that insurance salesman get ready for the worst case scenario crap. If you're right, I will have the rest of my life to deal with it. But right now, you are not going to rob me of my joy. Peter? Get Ned dressed and call the babysitter. I'll call the doctor. My water just broke.
I appreciate your coming in. And I hope that you're ready to tell me the truth.
About?
I've spoken with James. He describes a relationship that is anything but two people who have nothing to say to each other.
I told you he'd try to spin it.
Why would he say anything other than, Mrs. Gray, I don't like my mother. We never talk. Can't you find me a good family? He told me about the scrapbook. If you won't be honest with me, I cannot help you. Why are you trying to get rid of your son?
Because it's going to be so much harder later on.
When?
I don't know. When James runs out into the street, like Scott, when they find him drowned in someone's swimming pool. Or if I'm lucky, after he goes away to college. When I took those children in, I thought about what a happy family we would be. I never thought about losing one. I can't go through this again. I have to let him go before I get too attached.
Dear lady, you are already too attached. And thank God for it. We never get to have the ones we love forever. Good or bad, that's life. What we get to keep forever is the time that we have with them. Don't deny that to your son or to yourself.
How do I get through this, Maxine?
You keep going. There's nothing else to do.
I did. I already did. I
Mr.
tried
Fisher.
that. Get me another number. Just find it.
Mr. Fisher, call your witness.
I'm trying.
You blowing this, man.
He's not here? You said he was outside.
He was here, and now he's gone. He took off. Happens all the time, Your Honor, which is why I should have had more than one witness.
Told you not to call Jimmy. He never shows up for nothing.
Do yourself a favor. Keep your mouth shut.
I want another lawyer.
Your Honor, if you just give me a couple of hours, I will have another witness.
Well, I don't have a couple hours, so I'm going to grant you a continuance.
No continuance. I have assured my client that he will not spend another night in jail.
You should make promises to your client that you don't have the power to keep.
All due respect, Your Honor, but that is a load of crap.
Excuse
Man, what are you doing?
me.
You're pissing her off, man.
That is my job. I make promises I can't keep. I promise a drug dealer he's gonna go free. I promise you he won't deal drugs anymore.
What did you just say? You screwed me over.
No, I didn't screw you over. She screwed you over. And she screwed you over.
This is a circus.
I am the only person in this room who's trying to save your ass.
All right, Mr. Fisher, that's enough. Marshall! Marshall! Mr. Flint, sit down!
Son of a bull! I'm not going back to jail. Son of a bitch!
Mr. Fisher.
You know what? Why don't you just listen to the judge?
God.
Mr. Fisher, what's going on?
You know, you screwed yourself over when you went back to that schoolyard and dealt dope. Come on. I mean, come on. Come on. How many chances do you think you're gonna get?
Monty, just put the gun down.
Like hell I will. A man has a right to protect his own cartilage.
Oh, it feels like it's broken.
I am not the problem here. Now let go of me. I'm a member of the bar. I am a member of the bar. Judge. Your Honor. Just calm down. Your Honor. Come on, let's go.
Hi. I need to talk to you.
I'm listening.
Somewhere private.
Well, there's a birthday party in the lounge, so unless you want to step into the ladies' room, this is as private as it gets. Are you okay?
I am extremely okay. All right, this isn't very romantic, but it'll have to do. Okay, here's the thing. You're right. I have been a mess lately, and I figured out why. It's because of you.
I have made you a mess.
I have a rebellious nature, and I have very strong feelings for you since day one. So I have been busy trying to sabotage our potential relationship because I knew that if I were going to make a commitment to you, first I would have to make a commitment to myself, which is something I have never been willing to do.
Kyle.
Let me finish. It would be so easy for me to be the guy who would walk away from all of this and waste the rest of my life at some job I could do with my eyes closed with some woman who would be fine with that. But I don't want easy. I want you.
I almost believe you could pull it off. But I can't risk my future on it. I took that job in Manhattan.
I just missed getting shot by about 6 inches thanks to you. Apparently the metal detector's on the long list of things you won't allow anyone to fix.
I wasn't aware of that. I'll send someone over to take care of it right away.
Well, excuse me if that doesn't help me sleep better at night. But the gunshot is just one thing. I was on my way up here with a laundry list before that.
Yes, I saw your name in my book.
Okay. Well, here's some things I'd like to discuss. Traffic court. 3-day cases that I'm supposed to designate as short calendar because you want to speed things along, but you don't want to bother about anyone's civil rights in the process. And before you got here, I had 4 years of no money for security for my courtroom, no money for rehab. The entire social support system for parents is disintegrating in front of my eyes.
You're right.
I am?
But until the legislators decide to prioritize the juvenile arena, it is what it is.
Well, I hate it.
I can understand that. And I have a suggestion for how you might find your life slightly less stressful. I have an opening in criminal court, and your name has come up more than once. Are you interested?
I don't know.
Well, take a couple of days, think about it.
Excuse me, Judge Brummel. Judge Gray has to leave now. Jillian's in labor.
Oh, my God. That's my sister-in-law.
Give her my best.
Okay, push, Jillian. Once again, push. Okay, once again.
Magnesium up 10 cc.
Oh, you're doing great, honey. Not much longer. Come on, breathe. Breathe. Come on.
Fetal heart rate is greater than 95.
Jillian, I don't like what the baby's heart rate is doing, and given the circumstances, I'm going to go ahead and prep you for a C-section.
Oh, but...
Let's get her to the surgical suite. Page the anesthesiologist and tell Nurse Rhonda to scrub up now. It's going to be okay, Jillian. It'll be okay.
Amy?
Hi. What are you doing here?
Are you okay? I mean, I just heard what happened, and then they said you were at the hospital.
Judge Gray is fine. We're just waiting for Jillian to have her baby.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Don't spaz out on me. Just got my mom calmed down.
Okay, I'm so glad to see her.
Scalpel.
10 blade.
More sponges.
On the field, count is 20.
Hemostat.
Hemostat.
Okay, retract.
Retractor.
Oh, are they ever gonna get started?
I think they're almost done.
Okay, here's the baby.
I can't see.
Say hello to your son.
I told you he was perfect.
Oh, what happened to me? How is he so perfect?
I don't know. We're going to have to run some tests, keep a close eye on him. But in the meantime...
It's a miracle.
I don't have a better explanation than that.
Aren't you worried that Lauren will hear about it or see a newspaper?
I'll tell her later. It wasn't even... It was over so fast. I wasn't even scared. I was just mad. And then when I yelled at Brommel and he offered me a job. I guess I'm just swimming in offers today.
What other offers?
Okay. You're right. I guess I'm not swimming. You tell me. Look, I'm tired. I've had a hell of a day, so I'm just gonna put it right out there. Did you propose to me the other day?
Did I propose?
In the men's store, you were trying on the suit. Did you or did you not ask me to marry you? It's a simple question.
No, did you think?
So the big decision was about the suit.
Yes, but okay, hold on. Don't feel bad. I mean, I've been gearing up to propose.
You have?
Yes. I've been saving a very nice bottle of wine and reading restaurant reviews and, planning.
Really?
Yeah, but I thought it would take a long time before you even thought about it. Were you thinking about it?
Well, no. I mean, sort of.
Well, then I will. I will propose right now.
No, please don't. You don't have to do this just because you think
No, we can do the restaurant and the nice wine thing another time. I mean, I could have lost you today, and this is a good time. I think, Amy, I love you. Will you marry me?
Coming up next on TNT, don't miss the drama of Amy's first day in court. Judging Amy is next on TNT.